Days pass, and you fold the memory of Oliver in a different, thinner kind of box in your head and bury it there. The Remelina girls in return, and you forget all about the snake until Saturday night. This character had recently just been bit by a rattlesnake, and they like snapped its throat and buried it in a box. So that's the context there. When you it's like you forget all about the snake until Saturday night when you wait in the alleys of the decayed and rotted out center of town where storefronts gape empty and glass chips sparkle behind boarded up windows. Here, the night's already weaving into you, humming songs of how it missed the warmth of you. Your heart pulses with its raw power, coursing through you from tarsal bones to fingertips. The snake bite scars tingle, then itch, then burn. You ignore the burn. Focus on the snake boy and the skeleton girl walking down the sidewalk across from you. Oh, the skeleton boy and skeleton girl walking down the sidewalk across from you. Their masks hang like hoods from their throats, and the boy has removed the top half of his costume and tied it around his waist. You follow them gently, crawling down from your perch on a chain link fence where you've waited, buzzard-like, with knees folded up to your chest. You hardly make a sound. Distant trumpets echo from where the school's marching band practices fall routines. This Saturday night has stirred to life late. It waited until dusk to release a gentle wind that erased the heat and rustle of the October leaves, luring out those who'd be too busy with school or work on Monday to celebrate Halloween. Now, with the last of the sun swallowed behind the hills, the children of strict parents race from house to house in a premature search for candy. The air is laced with the smells of oil and candy corn and the sounds of cheers and frightful screams from the carnival downtown. Teens rush to the parties you've heard about in the school halls. Their cars blast Kendrick Lamar while all the white girls sing along to each and every lyric. The drive-thrus are clogged with more rowdy cars, and the spirit stores continue to churn out last-minute stoppers with bags full of latex masks and fake blood. That world is so far away. Here, these are your streets. The streets the cops are afraid to slow down in. You prowl them, wrapped in your father's rancher serape, its quills itching the sides of your neck, and wearing your plain lacquer mask to bedevil whatever unlucky prick walks home alone at night. And there have been many. The sleazebag who used to trail women from the bar down this very block, salivating all kinds of horrible words at them, even when they tell him to please leave them alone. The frat bros, the kids who'd wandered too far from their parents after being warned not to. The cop who'd stomped down the tent of any homeless person unlucky enough to be caught in his headlights. But these two drifters are different. These dime store skeletons you followed from Casa Coyote, Allison and Kevin. Huge fucking coincidence. Okay, her name is Allison, audience. As I've just learned, because I've just met you.
Right, yeah.
They haven't noticed you trailing a block behind them, watching through the eye holes of your mask. You cross the street and the truck rips past, inches from your face. It blows your serape and whips your hair, but doesn't halt or swerve, just rushes on, leaving the stink of diesel hanging in the air. And just like that, the street is empty again, as it always is. He should be here by now, Allison says to Kevin as they walk. Skeleton ribs peek beneath her denim coat. Kevin checks his phone. He said he was picking up food first. Just hold on, he'll be here soon. But this place creeps me the fuck out. Allison's voice echoes up and down the empty block. His does too, two voices bouncing back and forth. We'll go up a block or two and wait by the street corner, okay? But did you share the location? Been shared. You sure? Yes, I am. It even shows that he read the text. Look, it's right here. Okay. It's dark. It's only 9, babe. This place gives me the creeps. Yeah. You just said that already. They stop under the pale green halo of a buzzing street lamp and shared not a word. Kevin, who grew up 2 blocks from your house, you two used to play with final dinosaur toys in his driveway before he grew up into the athletic, light-skinned young man he is now. No one ever assumes he's from the same neighborhood as you. And Allison, that rich girl who moved in like the others a few years ago when the land developers crowded the hills with McMansion monstrosities. You want to hurt them. with even more spite than you felt a few nights ago when Allison cornered you in the aisle of a 7-Eleven and begged you to please, please, please take her and Kevin and Heather to the Coyote House on Saturday. She bargained with snacks and beer and said you'd totally be among friends for the price of their admittance into your sacred space. A totally good time, she'd said. But you laughed at the way she said beer, like a toddler trying the word on for size, and you said gross, because you've been putting up with these kinds of people all your life. They announce their presence with oohs and ahs whenever they wander into Samuel's antique store, but never buy anything, only to ignore you behind the cash register and talk loudly about how clever they are. Brazen ignorance on full display. Allison wanted to fit your house around her like a vintage dress she thrifts just to sell later online, to pretend she had no hand in Riley, that old boy of yours, his fate. Then, because you disrespected her, they chased you out into the lot where you spotted Oliver behind his windshield. When you told them to fuck off, Kevin said some shit about your mom, and you just had the time to spit out "hijo de la chingada" before they shoved you down, shoulders and arms pinning you. You swallowed the urge to rip them apart as the night's power hummed viciously within you. You tell yourself you would have liked it too. Like when you'd snapped your words at Elizabeth at Casa Coyote. She'd blinked all big-eyed and deer-like in the headlights with no idea how the walls of the house were closing in on her, how the branches reached out for her. You watched the gears turn behind her eyes as she realized that you two could not be whatever it was she remembered you two being. But you saw her face, the tears sparkling at the edges of her eyes, tears sparkling at the edges of her eyes as she strained to hold them in. Even when the glass cut her cheek and blood streamed down instead, she didn't break. She stood tall, while you were so small, and your guilt became a kitchen knife carving a canyon through your chest. It's still bloody and raw, but you won't let it bother you now. You let this thing pulse you through. Allison breaks the silence to Kevin, or no one, or just herself. I didn't know there were supposed to be people in that house. It was stupid to fucking egg it. As if that would change anything. As if they'd ever give you a second chance to. No, it's too late. Too late for you. Too late for them too. Always had been. Give yourself to the moon's quiet tunes playing in your head. Nighttime ribbons flow out of your blood and lace your fingertips as you feel the quivers of all the bones resting mere yards away. In the dirt and in dumpsters and under stones, roadkill and butcher scraps and long dead prey, you inch through the shadows, closing the space between you and the imitation skeletons. Closer, closer. A tumbleweed bounces between you and them, and it's Allison who clocks you from the corner of her eye. She says your name in a questioning tone, but before she can utter anything more, the night grabs her by the ankles and her words shatter into screams. Your shadows throw her down among the undead splinters you've dragged here with you, and they swarm her, grab her with writhing tendons and viscera and cartilage and crackling bones. Kevin screams the color out of his cheeks. He runs from her, the bones and you, but when he turns the corner, the night's already carried you there, and he stumbles back. He swings his fist at you, and you feel the air compress, the dust and sand pulls. You swerve, he misses. It's easy to push him down when his back faces you. Then you, black-cloaked monster that you are, bend around to look him in the eyes while the vertebrae and ribs of long-dead rats lock his arms to the dirt, and you tell him through fanged teeth, leave that house alone, leave those girls alone. You're gone before he opens his eyes. Back around the corner, Allison's pressed against the street lamp, kicking away the bones that won't stop coming, but they pull away for you. They feel your presence and recede behind the light's edge. Looking at Allison, you remember all those other kids she torments, how she used to corner you and ask you questions after question about things she knew you liked, pretending to be interested with her "oh wows" and "oh really huhs," and the whole time sharing glances with her friends that reminded you how she didn't really care, how you were a performing animal, a seal calling at her commands while the audience clapped. The way she said she'd always known you were a fucking fruit when they'd caught you and Riley with your limbs tangled behind the bleachers all those years ago. You get your mess close enough to taste the rose perfume on her skin. You tell her, "I'll hurt you next time." Got it? She nods. When the car pulls up to wash out a trembling Allison with its headlights, you're already gone, slinking through the alleys, the night alive with the songs of your laughter. And we'll close it there.
Woohoo!
first time I read that section, so there was a lot of hesitating, a lot of stumbling, but we got there. But we got to the end of it.
Oh, Diva, you were great, and the filming of it looked amazing.
You saw it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, like the hand was like you were like framed beautifully in profile. I guess I'm still filming.